Hello again, Tiger friends. It is Meredith with Tiger Lily Resources, and we are back yet again for another episode of Tiger Tales. And I am accompanied by the Fur Girls, so you might hear a little ruckus in the background because they are not having some sitting still time. Of course, every time I jump on the camera, they gotta go crazy. Okay, so let's keep on going in these tales of the Tiger world. And we had ended last segment with the arrival of COVID, and the official lockdown was March 18th of 2020 here in Illinois. I want to say I don't remember if we were a week ahead or a week behind Missouri, but we're like 45 minutes apart from each other. So, so we were here at the house. I actually had one of our peer mentor was here, and we didn't have a girl here that weekend. Her and I were going to be working on stuff here at the house. And so I heard the announcement that it was going to be shut down. I want to say Missouri was first. I had to have been. So I went ahead and I brought her home because I didn't know, we had no idea what the lockdown was going to look like. And we were like, well, what if you get stuck here? Like, what if we can't cross over to Missouri? So we just, we'd just gotten out here to the house. And so then I brought her back home. And so we were locked down, incapacitated, not working until like July. Especially down in the center, because that was just kind of the hot seat. Everybody thought it was the hot seat down there. So we went back. I think St. Louis came back off of lockdown, I want to say in like June, but we waited a little bit because I just wanted to make sure that, like, were we going to go back into a lockdown? Were they going to change their mind? Like, what was it going to look like? What was the atmosphere in the city going to be like? So we ended up opening the center back up in July. I want to say it was July 1st was the Wednesday, 2020. So then we started bringing girls back into the house. It was like in September, our peer leader was here at the house, and we had a girl here at the house too. And like I said, whenever we would have the ladies here, we would take them on outings, like whenever it was suitable. We would go down. One of my favorite places to take them is down to Grafton because it's just so beautiful down there, and the nature and the scenery, and there's cute little stores and stuff. So we went down there that evening and got ice cream and just walked around, and the peer mentor, she started getting really sick and like throwing up and diarrhea really, I think. Anyway, but she was like, well, I just switched some medicine that she was taking, so she thought maybe she was having a reaction to that. And it was not getting any better. So we took her home, like, I don't know, I want to say it was Sunday, I think we took her home. And lo and behold, she had the vid. So that means we got it. So I got it. My son got it. It was September 2020. We had it. It was like 2 weeks. It was not fun. Very annoying. Our symptoms were extremely different from each other, but we survived it and we came out of it. So we ended up we paused for a little bit because of that, obviously, and then we ended up bringing somebody back in. I want to say it was like November of 2020, and it was really, like, you want to talk about some very heavy darkness. I would even venture to say demonic oppression that was brought into the house ish, because the house is covered. The house is totally covered in prayer, but you can feel it on the person and whatever. So it was a pretty heavy one. And we got her placed at a program north of here, and she left early, and that was one of the rather large temper tantrums that we had. Threats and things were made, and I don't really get fazed by that stuff, but she ended up making her way back down to St. Louis, and she ended up doing damage to our building and stuff. But so then winter was settling in, and it was, if y'all remember last winter here in the St. Louis area, it was quite hellacious. and quite long. We had a snow in November and then a snow again, and like that big one, late February, early March or something. It was the big storm that stretched from Texas to Maryland. That one, yeah. Um, so it was just a really interesting year. So 2020, everybody thought it was gonna be like, oh, the year of clear vision and all that. It was interesting. 2021 though, for us was, I wouldn't say it was even more challenging. 2021 was very much a year of maintaining, persevering, and preparing. Those are the words that always kind of come back to when I try to describe it. There was a lot of inactivity. Oh, we went back into the center, and I want to say it was like March, because my son was getting ready to go into the National Guard. And so I was spending some personal time with him before he left. And so I was talking to the owners of the building where we had our center at, and let them know kind of the time frame of when we would be back down there. And I had thrown it out there because we kind of started coming across some worldview conflicts of certain things that were just, they didn't mesh well, which really shouldn't have mattered because we were two separate entities, but we were two nonprofits in the same building. And there was just some clashes beginning of some things that were like kind of non-negotiables on our side, definitely. So I had just kind of put it out there to them that if like this was our time frame to return back to the center, unless if they needed it for something else, understandable, let us know. So I kind of opened the door for them to say yes or no. So they did ask us to leave, which was fine. We did what we needed to do there. Left the place nice and fresh and clean, and left some useful pieces of furniture for them to use for whoever was supposed to be coming. I think it was like a medical clinic-y kind of thing that was going to go in there or something. So we moved out of the drop-in center at sometime in March, middle of March, and been looking, and we started looking and looking and looking for a new space to go into. We wanted to stay in the neighborhood. Nothing was coming up. The places that we did look at were so like, that whole neighborhood is just so broken, and it's just, even the buildings are dead, so we'd find places, and there was so much money and work to put into it. You might as well tear it down and build something new. So then we were like, well, let's look at land. Maybe we can put something new on it. And we just tried all these different options, and it was just like one brick wall after another, after another, after another. We probably looked at like 6 or 7 different options between March and I want to say like September of this year, September, October, November, looking at different spaces for the drop-in center. Could not find what was suitable. We did find one that we thought would be pretty cool, and the church, it was a church, and they had moved from North City down to South City, and they were talking about an astronomical amount of money for this building, like so much that it would have paid that building off, probably paid for their other church, paid for it was out of this world. So definitely more than we ever wanted to spend on that space down there. So I put it on pause of looking. I got so tired, exhausted mentally, emotionally, of looking for a space. I felt like I was forcing it. So I know after enough time of running into that proverbial brick wall, it hurts after a while. And so I've learned to stop and just wait, and then let God open up a door. And he did. So now enters the RV. Scarlet, our Scarlet girl. So, all right, I had mentioned several videos back that we had acquired an RV. And we did. And we had tried to assign her different duties, probably 3 different times. And again, they all fell flat. Nothing came about of them. And then she came back to my thoughts of use what you have in your hands, right? Well, we have an RV. Her name is Scarlet, and she is in our hands. So the Lord opened that door again, and we have been bringing her back to life for like, I don't know, too long now. I'm ready for her to be back alive. If any of you have popped over to the other playlist of Scarlet, you've kind of been seeing her come to life. But that's what we're working on now. So exciting. I'm going to kind of tie up on the next segment. I'm going to tie up all these little fragments that I just kind of threw out there of the house and the drop-in center not being there anymore and shopping for properties. And now we're looking at Scarlet, getting her going again. Ew, we are so in the present. That is so exciting. So, okay. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm just a tad bit over. I always do. Sorry. I have to say hello and say goodbye. So, gist of the story is within the 10 minutes. You get it. So, all right. Stay tuned for the next update, and we are going to talk more about present time. That's exciting. All right, kids. So, this is Meredith with Tiger Lily Resources, and I am signing off.